Hello, it's just David here with my weekly video. I don't know about you, every week I look at my diary and see what's coming up in the coming week. Now, obviously, I have a vague idea, and sometimes things need to be sort of plans ahead that I've already sort of looked at, hopefully. But each week I do sort of look and think slightly, kind of, oh, is there something unusual coming up? Is there something that perhaps I've overlooked? And I don't know about you, but I have a confession to make, which is I don't really look forward to there being a kind of great special event or anything. I do sort of think, oh, good, it's a quiet week. There's nothing unusual happening. Um, and generally, of course, there's still quite a lot in it because a week has a kind of rhythm. It has sort of things which are regular, which go on, and there's just life goes on. I mean, you eat, sleep, you take the dog for a walk, you say your prayers, you do um, all those sorts of things. So it's not as though weeks are empty. Um, but there's something sort of rather comforting about that sort of rhythm of things. I suppose probably if you sort of every week was always the same, you would feel slightly, you get a bit bored, a bit fed up. But as I say, for me, I mean, I sort of look, and when a week is sort of fairly kind of normal, I think, oh, good, that's a relief. Nothing sort of terribly special or that I have to do this week. Maybe I don't know. Maybe that's because I'm lazy. I don't know. But the reason I'm saying this is because I think it's a sort of reflection on the church's year. Because the church's year, it sort of took me a long time to kind of get it, really. And I think probably it's, even after I was ordained, I didn't sort of quite get how it goes. But really, it's divided into two halves. And I mean, the year starts on Advent Sunday. That's when we always say the year starts. And if you like, that's a run up to Christmas. I mean, okay, we're thinking about the second coming, but we all know that it is sort of period of sort of, well, penitential season, ready for Christmas. Then obviously we have the birth of Jesus. And then sort of very roughly in the next 6 months, we go through Jesus's life up until, obviously up until the events of Holy Week and Easter. And then we have the sort of, then we kind of keep quite literally the 40 days until Pentecost, until the Ascension rather, and then 50 days until Pentecost. And then we kind of put everything together, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, because they kind of all arrive by that point on Trinity Sunday. And then we go to something called Ordinary Time. And we have a bit of ordinary time before. It's sort of just between sort of Candlemas, which again, literally 40 days after Christmas, because it's 40 days Jesus was presented in the temple, and the start of Lent. But often it's not more than 2 or 3 weeks. So all that time, if you like, which is great, we're having a kind of structure. We're not wearing green vestments. We're wearing purple or white or sometimes red. And we're particularly thinking about a particular aspect of the life of Jesus. And then that, as I say, that sort of stops really for 6 months. So about now, we got Trinity Sunday last Sunday. And then we kind of keep going till, well, where are we now? June, till November. So sort of nearly half the year. And of course, during that time, you get the odd sort of festival or a feast that falls on a Sunday. But basically, it's a time that we call ordinary time. And what is ordinary time about? Well, the church is in green generally, which I always sort of say to some children when we talk about the liturgical colours, is the colour of the world. It's a comforting colour. It's a sort of ordinary colour. I mean, okay, maybe not in towns and cities, but look outside generally, and what do you see? You see green. Obviously, the other colours signify, gold or white is for the big celebrations. Purple is a bit more sort of somber. But yeah, green is for the everyday. And obviously, what we tend to do is I mean, we go through sort of the rest of a gospel. So each year has a gospel. Matthew, Mark, and Luke. You may have noticed on Sunday morning we read from one gospel for a year. Now I know there's four gospels, but John is slotted in elsewhere. So you have your gospel for the year, and obviously the kind of at Christmas you have the Christmas bit, and at Holy Week you have a Holy Week bit, and etc. etc. But during the rest of the time, you kind of then just go through Jesus's life in a sense when, well, not nothing as special is happening, but he's sort of carrying on with his ministry. So you fill in with sort of the rest of those gospel stories, and it more or less works through the gospel. So there is that sense, I think, of it being like the week where there's nothing special on. But I don't think, as I say, that can be a bad thing. I don't think we're always sort of thinking, oh, when's the next festival going to be, or when's the next thing which is going to sort of jump into my sort of diary, which is very exciting. I think there's something good about that, this sort of 6 months having a rhythm of its own, really, that sort of week in, week out sort of Christianity. I say the wearing green, the sort of the doing of the ordinary things. And of course it gets swallowed up because it's also the period of summer, so there's lots of summer events, and then people go on holiday, and actually the autumn also is busy, because actually autumn is a time when I often think we're, however old we get, most of us still in a way still think of school years. So it's the sort of beginning of an academic year, and studies say that even when you're doing sort of things for adults, you get higher uptake of sort of courses and stuff in September, October, when people come back from their holidays. So it does have a kind of flavour of its own, and there are things that are happening, but nonetheless churchy, that idea of the ordinary, the underlying rhythm of the week, which isn't sort of terribly disturbed by sort of extra special events. So that's kind of where we are, really, entering into ordinary time. So I want to say sort of 3 cheers for ordinary time, and the rhythm of the week, the rhythm of the day, which is I think an important thing for human beings. Well, as I say, there we are. I'm going to get on with my rather ordinary week, and thank you.